I love sun and moon cards, so I was pleased to acquire this deck, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, astrology cards to illuminate your life. This was done by Caroline Smith and John Astrop. This is a red feather production, which you don't see too often, but here's an example of red feather production. This is the back of the box. I will read the first paragraph here on the back. The powerful orb of the life-giving sun has been worshipped from time immemorial. Its regular passage across the sky was used by the ancients to predict events, and this became the astrology we know today. Now, with this beautifully illustrated deck, and it is indeed quite beautiful, you too can follow the sun's path across the heavens and use its light to help guide your life. Very almost poetic there. Okay, this is a drawer box. You pull on the ribbon, the drawer slides out, the cards sit at the bottom, and the guidebook sits on top. So I have a couple of decks with this feature, and I do appreciate it. Talking about the guidebook, well, if you know just a little about astrology or nothing, you can learn a lot about astrology just by reading this whole book. Now, if you know a lot about astrology, you can learn a lot on how to use this specific deck utilizing this book. For example, every card has a whole page of text accompanying each card. It also gets into basics like houses, it gets into astrology, of course, it gets into signs, and so forth. So there's a lot of information packed into this guidebook, which is about 150 pages thick here. So very well done. Now let's get over to cardstock. This is a small oracle card. If we compare it to a regular playing card, we see it's just a little bit more wider and a little bit taller than a playing card. If we compare it to a tarot card, which is 2.75 by 4.75 inches, we can see the size difference right here. So it's a smaller oracle deck. But there's 84 cards, so I don't know how easy a large oracle card size would be to shuffle with 84 cards. But basically, cover the basics here, there are 7 suits in this deck, and each suit is comprised of 12 cards. So it's a total of 84 cards. Now, the first suit is the sun suit. The second is the moon. The third is Mercury, followed by Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And I'm going to get into the cards now. And the symbols on these cards, like there's a line here and there's a semicircle here, like a dome. Well, that represents the sun cards, as that symbol. Each card has a different symbol on the face of the card. Our first card under sun is assertion. And it looks like we see a soldier slaying a dragon. The second card is acquisition. Next we have versatility. We have resourcefulness. Fortune. I like sun and moon faces, as I was saying, so I really dig this deck. Okay, next is health, card number 6. Harmony. Endurance. Enthusiasm. Achievement. Idealism. Vision is the 12th card. Now we're moving on to the suit of moon, and moon is characterized by a line right here on the card here. about 2/3 down. First card under moon is protection. And the next is exaltation. Adaptability. Friendship. Appreciation. Order. Companionship. Power. Optimism. Practicality. Independence. And finally, empathy, card number 12 under the moon. Okay, moving on to the suit of Mercury. Mercury is distinguished by a diagonal line through the card. First card is restlessness. Next is resistance. Next is excitement. Followed by intuition. Card number 5 is drama. Number 6 is caution. Influence. Extremism. Discovery. Organization. Originality. Inspiration. And now we move on to the suit of Venus, which is basically just a rectangular identifier. Okay, under Venus, the first is lust, romance, flattery, birth, affair. Venus is like a suit of love. Sixth card is discrimination. Indecision. Secrets. Flirtation. Convention. Detachment. And submission. Okay, now we're moving on to the suit of Mars, characterized by a line down here and then another line right there. So kind of like 3 sections to it. Okay, the first card under Mars is impulsiveness. And I guess a suit of energy and action is Mars is. Okay, defense. And by the way, Sun, suit of identity and fortune, and Moon is an emotional suit. Okay, number 3, decision. Number 4, quarrel. Number 5, egotism. Number 6, criticism. Card number 7, choice. Revenge. Domination. Authority. Rebellion. And card number 12 is escape. Okay, moving on to the suit of Jupiter, distinguished by a diamond pattern on the card. And Jupiter is a suit of what we call abundance and wisdom. Enterprise, card number 1. Status, card number 2. Bluff, card number 3. Speculation. Publicity. Patience. Negotiation. Manipulation. Principle. Control. Innovation. Seduction. And our last suit is Saturn, and it's a line about halfway down across the card. All the cards have that same line. Okay, first card is risk. Ostentation. Concentration. Charity. Generosity. Isolation. Devotion. Inheritance. Fulfillment. riches, eccentricity, and the last card is loss. Well, I'm just going to surmise here about each of the suits. The sun suit is identity and fortune and contains masculine energy. The moon suit is emotional and is feminine energy. The Mercury suit is about change and intellectual stimulation. The suit of Venus is a love suit. Mars is energy and action. Jupiter, gain, abundance, and wisdom. And finally, Saturn, ambition, advance materially and socially. So those are the notes I had from the guidebook there. But it's an interesting deck. If you collect cards like I do, mostly for their artwork, you can always appreciate a astrological deck here. And, well, if you're thinking about the deck, I hope I've helped you. And as always, thanks so much for watching.